Here's another empowering thought for y'all. Just some life lessons that we can learn from the quirkiness of things like movies or wherever you get inspiration. I get a lot of mine from movies. So again, we're talking about Forrest Gump. So for those of you who have seen Forrest Gump, you will recognize the scene that I described. For those of you who have not, I highly recommend you to watch this movie because there's so many life lessons that can help us understand ourselves better if you just kind of have a perspective shift and recognize the signs and symbols that come in. So for me, I recognized it immediately when I thought of this scene. So there is a point, Forrest was bullied incessantly when he was young because he couldn't walk like normal kids. He couldn't learn like normal kids. And so he was berated for it on a regular basis. It was super sad. And there was this one scene where they showed the bullying in action. His best friend, Forrest's best friend, was Jenny, his favorite girl, and they were walking home from school to his home. A pretty long outside walk. And as they're walking up the road with their book bags, minding their business, this group of, I think it was 3 bullies, rides up and starts berating him. And that turned from just words to violence very quickly. So the next thing you know, these 3 bullies are throwing rocks at Forrest, trying to hurt him. And Jenny, in her beautiful Southern accent, emphatically says, "Run, Forrest, run!" Just as loud as she can, trying to help her friend because she knows he's going to get hurt. So Forrest, who you will learn in the movies, has braces on his legs because he had an illness when he was young. He was told he couldn't walk normally. He had to wear these braces just to make his back straight so that he could develop appropriately. But they had told him he couldn't run, he couldn't walk properly, etc. So this boy, who currently has braces on, has to run to escape the violence of these bullies at Jenny's prompting. So he takes off like a bat out of hell, y'all. Runs as fast as he can to help himself. And as he is running, I get chills every time I think about this scene. The way that it was shot on this movie was perfectly done. They show Forrest's face, and it was priceless, y'all. He was so shocked, number one, that he could run at all because he already had trouble walking, and he did not know that he could run normally, right? And quickly, fast. He was super fast, and he had no idea that he had that skill. So he takes off running and escapes the bullies. Now, the lesson in this that goes back to your power and how sometimes, like the box of chocolates that we built, you have to go through the depths of the yucky stuff to find one of your powers or some of your power. Just like I found my power through bullying to be able to teach you and help you and to be resilient. Forrest in that scene perfectly represents, he found his power because he was bullied. And if he had never been bullied, he would have never ran. Or if you continue to watch the movie, you find out that he was one of the best runners ever. And he runs all the way across this country. And it was a beautiful, beautiful analogy that you can use to remind you that you do have power. And when you're going through these horrible storms, I call them, spare you the language, there's something that comes out of it that makes it worth it. And you are worth it to find your beautiful power again. So yeah, sometimes we got to go through the ugly crap. Who would want to have rocks thrown at them? Nobody I know. But you know what? It happened because somebody else made a pain, projecting choice. Forrest was on the innocent end of it. He had nothing to do with it, but he received it. And that was horrible for him. But you know what? Something wonderful came out of it. So I encourage you to remember When you have these very difficult moments that take you to your knees, understand and be aware that it is temporary pain if you choose, and that that pain has purpose. And it might just help you discover a little bit more of who you are.